Guys, it feels good and it hurts at the same time, but me and Kate are excited. One of our ETFs that we were invested in just hit pretty huge last 2 days, and we're excited to just talk about it. Let's just dive right into it and just get this episode going. So, little recap. Obviously, we've had some ups and downs, and that's the wrong account. Apologies. We've had some ups and downs with our big money over the last actually year. I want to say we've gone up, down, up, down. I'm settled around 18.5 right now. I think, Kate, you're probably like 23, 24 with the huge up with NSTR and BMNU.
Yeah, I'm at 23.
I actually sold out of it because, again, I'm sticking to my thesis. I'm doing small bets for the win. But yeah, I'm at 18.5. I got about 15.5 in cash. And my current open positions is I did a weekly Soxel, just a small bet. That's probably going to be worthless, is what it is. And then I did an MSDU call 2 days ago. That's up 50%, which is sweet. And then I have double leverage NVTS and double leverage Bloom when it recently dropped. And my idea was small wins because my overall thesis of just a dip in the market in the next couple months, which I think is coming. That's what my guts tell me from everything I've researched with some pullbacks of what's going on. So I'm going off historical data as well, which I don't always love, but I think market's still kind of greedy, even with the semi pullback. I mean, S&P hit an all-time high and stuff. So that's just how I'm playing it. I like heavy cash right now until I see a really good buy. And we can kind of go into what me and Kade are trying to pivot towards, but that's me. I know, Kade, you probably have some different positions right now, right? What are your positions?
Yeah, so I have about $10,000 in IREN, 5,000 in MSTU, and 5,000 in BMNU.
And then you have no cash?
$2 in cash.
$2 in cash. Okay. Your BMNU and MSTU are probably up pretty good, right?
Yeah, my BMNU's up like 35%, 41%. My MSTU's up 23%, and my IREN's up 6%.
6%. What is your plan with BMNU, MSTU? I know we were kind of just like long-term hold it because we don't know when the pop will happen, but we think it'll be pretty good. But with your IREN, has anything changed there? So no,
Yeah, so I've been doing tons of research on IREN, and interestingly enough, Mack's done like really into NVTS, which we've known for a really long time, but it went all the way up to 30, and now it's back at 13, which is kind of where we bought it originally. But I've been doing tons and tons of research on IREN, and a lot of it comes down to, do you believe Elon Musk? Which some people do, some people don't. And a lot of it comes down to, can the management actually execute? What I'm seeing is, so if you believe Elon Musk on how much money you can get for power, IREN will have more reoccurring revenue than its current evaluation in the next 2 years. More reoccurring revenue than its valuation.
That's pretty nuts.
Usually you're worth about 10x reoccurring revenue. So that would mean it's got a 10x growth possibility pretty quickly.
Right. That means if that was the reoccurring revenue and you had a PE of 10, it means you'd be valued at 10 times that.
So now, can they actually get the prices that Elon Musk is saying? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. But that's like, if that's out there, let's just say, in all actuality, it's a fourth of that. They're worth, that's still 2.5x in reoccurring revenue, which should still skyrocket the company. So
do you have any idea with your research as played out, like a time frame of when that'll be more known?
Yeah, so that goes into the next thing. So the biggest bears all talk about, and one thing that everyone should know is IREN, like not long ago, like a year ago or whatever, was at 7. Now it's at 40. So it's already exploded. So there's that. But um, the biggest bears are saying IREN's management sucks and they won't be able to execute, and they're not going to be able to deliver on all this. So then you get into time horizons. So IREN has a huge deal with Microsoft. And last week they delivered the first piece of like a 7-part deal to Microsoft. So the good news is they've already delivered one, and it's huge cash flow reoccurring. And they have already sold deals. It's called Horizon, and they already did Horizon 1. They've already sold Horizon 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe, maybe, and 7. And then they're in the works to get Horizon 8 through 10 deals done. And so I'm really, really excited that they already delivered on Horizon 1. So they actually came through on one deal. And then
Gotcha.
they're supposed to be deliver on through Horizon 4, I believe, or 5 by the end of the year. So then we'll kind of see, are they actually delivering? Is the reoccurring revenue actually coming in? And then the biggest question is, what is the actual price target on that? Is Elon Musk right or wrong? But that, like, I just
So it's
love,
an end of year play.
I
Am I
love an
jumping in?
opportunity where, like, it, a lot of people are saying it could be 10x. Okay, well, if I just 2x my money, that's perfect. And then, like me and Mac talked about last time, anytime I 2x in a stock, I'm going to reevaluate. So if it ever gets to 80, then I'm going to have serious news, redo my thesis, make sure it's still there, or switch to something else that I think will do better. And so I'm kind of doing with half my
IREN.
money all in, half my money I'm holding BMNU and MSTU for the long term. Actually, you want to know, I'm probably going to hold those until Ethereum and Bitcoin hit their all-time highs, and then switch them to just regular MSTR and BMNR without leverage. That's kind of the strategy right now.
Interesting. Maybe you switch into that, or maybe you even see something better, right? I think one thing we've learned from this experience is we just need to be better at pivoting when we see a better opportunity. You know what I mean? So
All right,
I
Mac,
like.
but that's all my stuff. You said you had a new stock, and we are on a little bit of a time crunch today. So why don't you
Oh
get into
yeah.
your research and everything?
So NVTS and Bloom are obviously huge. I'm looking at obviously Bloom. The biggest thing that's going on with them right now, of why I'm in them, or sorry, the biggest bear is if what they've said about their product is legit, because there's been some things, some quote unquote shady things in China with the, I can't even pronounce the word. Was it scandium, some material that is used, about a shortage, or and there's skeptics out there that are saying this isn't like legit, like what they're presenting isn't actually legit, which Chris Camillo is super big on Bloom, and he says, I don't see how an entire company would stake everything in their entire reputation on a lie, because they will actually fail and they'll lose everything like that. Right. And obviously it's been done in the past, but he's like, he has, analysts for Bloom, and he's spoken really highly of Bloom. So from my research, I don't think it's a scandal. We'll see how that plays out. But that's like the biggest thing, because if they can get the power that they're going to be a lead player in the energy space for NVIDIA and stuff, and converting energy. And it's going to be, I mean, just like Elon and everything, we've seen the first wave with data centers, infrastructure, chips, right? Now, all the companies that are following it to make those more efficient, I feel like is the next play, which is what NVTS and Bloom are to me. NVTS, just like a small snippet, it's essentially converting high voltage energy into manageable, um, I don't even know. The best way to explain it is like, your telephone poles in your community, that's running at a huge voltage of electricity, and it can't just run into your house. It needs to go through an adapter to make it to a sustainable voltage for your house. That's what NVTS's product is doing for data centers, essentially. So I see a huge demand for that as we start building out that infrastructure, and then I'm just waiting for huge prices to go all in. The one I want to talk about with you, Kade, is a Nancy Pelosi trade. She just put $1 million in call options expiring next March into Intel. She just announced it.
That's why you sent me that.
Intel, and I've been doing a ton of research this morning on Intel, and it's for two reasons. One, their foundry business. It's gonna de-risk our USA's dependence on their foundry business, which right now we outsource most of it from, I believe it was Taiwan.
Yeah, Taiwan's
I'm
where like
pretty
all the
sure.
chips
And
are
so
made.
Intel, that's growing 31% annually right now. And they're projected to keep exploding in addition to their data center and AI. And I know we got an NVIDIA and AMD, and we said AMD is awesome because it's positioned itself for CPUs and GPUs. Intel's
GPUs, right?
Intel's, is GPUs, and their data center and AI build out with their server demand just is growing 59% year over year to 6.3 billion now as their driving performer of their business. So one thing I really like about Intel, if you know anything about Intel, it's pivoted a ton, right? It was down huge. It's obviously still up from its all-time high. I believe it's still down like 40%, I want to say. Something like that, 35%. It's half the value of AMD right now. It's starting to get a huge market share in the data center for their GPUs, and then their foundry business is another thing of why they're going to explode. So I know last time we did a Nancy Pelosi trade, APLD, we just needed to increase our time horizon a little bit, right?
We didn't hold long enough. That's
we didn't
right.
hold long enough because it was, and then we got scared and we should have doubled down and we didn't. But I think it is definitely something worth looking into for a potential all-in trade. Again, I'm going to need to see some real price drops across all things I'm watching right now before I go all in, just because of my gut with the September bear-like market that I think is coming. But I do think that is worth looking into and maybe pivoting as an option.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
So I've obviously just done 1 day of research. I'll need to do more and look really into it, but it definitely needs to be on our radar, in my opinion. And I don't think their foundry specifically has been priced in as much as it should. It's obviously not super big yet. It's not producing, I want to say it's like around 6 billion a year. But I mean, they got two sectors that are producing over 10 billion now, and it's growing it's projected to grow over 50% for the foreseeable future. So it's a lot of money.
The biggest thing that I would tell you to do is just make sure you look at how much of that's already been priced in. Because like you said, they're down from their highs, but they're up 400% over the last 6 months. So
is it 400? I thought it was just 100%.
Maybe you have to go to a year to get to 400%. I was just looking it up, but because they were like a $20 stock.
Yeah.
A year ago.
Yeah, they took a
200. They're up 300% over the last year. So,
okay, gotcha.
That would be the only. It's kind of like with AMD, right? Like they're going to continue to grow, and we love them and whatever. But the reason we're out is how much of it's already been priced in, because we got in at 150 and they're now at 500.
And Nancy Pelosi might know something we don't, so I want to try and find that info.
That's true. Well, we already know part of the reason Intel went from 20 to whatever it did, 130, is because of Trump. Trump backed Intel, said stuff about them, said we need to bring chips here and everything, but maybe there's even another announcement coming, insider trade. We'll know in the next 60 days, right? We
sure will. So I am curious, because with APLD, right, she had the initial pop and then, it ended up just exploding. And so honestly, APLD is still on my watch list too. So we're just looking for good entry points at this point. So, but that was the grade I had.
And Mac and I are actually playing different games at this point. Mac's getting a little more into timing, and I'm getting a little more into, if I believe in something, I'm just gonna buy it, hold it, not it because I'm not doing short-term call options. Like, it's okay if it goes down in the short term as long as my thesis doesn't change. And because we just kind of looked at, like, if we would have just held AMD from 150 to 550, we would be at a similar, if not better, place than with what we did with all the trying to time it and everything like that. And so I'm just, the other thing that I wanted to mention, since we have a little more time, is IREN has earnings on August 27th.
Yeah, I am curious how that's going to go down.
And just because your competitors' earnings were amazing and they went super up on their earnings does not mean that will happen for your company. But, their competitors are CoreWeave and Nebus, and they both reported like last week and both went up 20% on earnings. So this is, I know I just said that I'm not going to time the market. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to take, so I have $2 in cash. I'm going to take $500 out of the call IREN and buy a short-term call option on earnings.
Dude, we've been so successful in earnings. I love the play.
If it goes to zero, I lose $500. If it does amazing, it goes to $3,000, which I'm just going to sell and put back into IREN.
Yeah.
The old Kade would have done half his money or all of his money in short-term call options,
and we would have hit eventually.
And we did.
If you're looking for a trade for the week, NVIDIA's earnings are also coming up on the 26th, and I am highly considering putting another put on their earnings.
On NVIDIA's.
Yeah. Every time. This is so speculative. There's no thesis at all, other than every time I've put a put on NVIDIA earnings, I've won, and I feel like I should do it again. And August, they always outperform and beat expectations, but I feel like they're going to go down. And that's what NVIDIA's earnings do. The last like 4 years of August earnings for NVIDIA, they've gone down like 5-10%. It's crazy.
You're on the opposite side of Kevin Yu.
Is he?
He thinks they're going to crush earnings, go up, and then there's going to be a market drop. By the way, this big influencer person, he actually supports Mack's thesis that near term we're going to have some rocky roads ahead. There's a lot of signals. The one I just saw this morning is Walmart came out and said, should I look it up real quick since we're doing this live?
Yeah, look it up.
See if I can find it really quick because it was interesting. Here it is. This is from Walmart. Consumer is stretched. Higher gas prices are a concern. Slowest U.S. sales growth in 6 years. Doesn't sound too good. That's from Walmart.
Not from Walmart, the biggest,
retailer.
Yeah.
And Walmart usually knows how the consumer's doing. So,
and that's that's the other thing. I'm sick and tired of having no cash when it bottoms out. So that's why I'm doing small bets. So if I win, I'm still happy. But then we just get another crash, because like you said, we only need one good bet a year, and then we just are smart after we do it.
There's always market risk, but the way that I'm thinking about it is, like I only want to be invested in companies like IREN. Like, I think there's a 10x potential. So let's say it is rocky and there's market risk and I lose 15% over the next month or whatever and things happen. Mm-hmm. Eventually, if they are making more money than their valuation, they're going to go up 3x.
Yeah,
it may be rocky.
You think? You would think.
But that's what happened with our thesis. We're trying to do short-term, super aggressive bets. That's what I'm saying. AMD did go up 3x, which was our thesis.
Yeah.
We just tried to time it perfectly.
We initially won huge. AMD, we got to give ourselves a little grace. We probably shouldn't have gone as big as we did on the next earnings. I think we did it out of principle for missing out on the last, but we really should have done.
But you're saying on this latest one.
Correct.
See, but I'm saying until we got there. Like we started with AMD at 150 and it got to 550. So there's nothing wrong about that. But we lost tons of money in AMD trying to time it.
Well, me kind of, because I hit it really good in AMD and then I lost it on stupid things like lithium.
Yeah, the first time
it back, and then I made it back again in AMD.
On AMD.
And then I lost it in AMD. So
yeah, the first time was definitely because we diversified into sucky things.
Yes.
But
so I honestly think we made more money with our AMD than just holding it. No? Because I made 500% the first time, and then I made 500% the second time.
Yeah, I guess it's the decisions after.
It's more the decision. So that's what I'm saying. Once we get that pop, honestly, we should just sell, hold the 46K, and really go into, hey, double leverage this or dip in this and wait for that next pop. Right? So that's why that's why
I'm doing 5,000 in call options on IREN earnings.
No, bro, don't do it. It's not enough. I promise.
That's what you just told me to do.
No, not an IREN though. I with everything going on, IREN's earnings isn't enough to move its own needle yet, in my opinion. I think their strategy is going to take a little bit more time to pop. From everything you said, I know a little bit into them. And I don't think this earnings, I think they beat earnings too. I don't think I see anything crazy of them saying, oh, by the way, we're actually delivering Microsoft things 3 months early and we have signed 7 more deals. You're going to need something like that for it to really move on this earnings, in my opinion. And I haven't seen any indication.
Yeah, the biggest reason I am excited about this earnings is because they actually delivered on their first product.
That's true.
Well, not their first product,
yeah,
but
and then it could do better forward guidance. Probability of delivering the rest goes way up.
Way up.
So you could have, honestly, and that's good news.
The video of the delivery was sick. So
you better believe.
I don't know how much that moves the stock price.
You know what, dude? I'm doing a short-term option with you. But
let's go. 500
bucks. It's gonna be $500. I'm small win guy right now. I like my small wins.
Small win guy.
I'm a small win. So anyway, we're gonna close out. But we really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully this has been more interesting episode than others. Me and Kade are fired up. We see some real potentials in the next 5 months. I think it's gonna be a great opportunity to generate some wealth. So we're hoping that we pick a few good companies and we go to the moon. But as always, we're not financial advisors, but we hope you enjoy. We're out till next week. Peace.